Welcome back here to Up North at 4. You might remember a few weeks ago, Jeff and I did a tour of central Wisconsin, visiting several dairy farms as a part of June Dairy Month. And now we want to show you about Grass Ridge Farm in Pittsville. I met with Paul Lippert, who is the owner. Take a look at this. So we're down here at Grass Ridge in Pittsville. We're here with Paul Lippert. And Paul, thank you so much for joining us. This is a bit of a family affair for you. I believe you worked with your brother, your dad, born and raised here as well. So this is sort of what you know, right?
Yep.
That's awesome. And what's it like to work in that sort of family environment?
Working with family is awesome 95% of the time, I would say, right? My father's actually the extension agent, so I run the day-to-day operations, but he still provides big picture guidance. But he also, you know, since he's in the UW system, we get a lot of the newest and more up-and-coming things that are happening. And then my brother, he's not day-to-day on the farm anymore, actually. But he's done some startup type stuff and some blockchain type stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's actually traveling the world right now. He's in Argentina.
Yeah,
but
not a big deal.
We're hoping that he's going to come back, and that knowledge that he's gained being other places and seeing other things, that we're going to use that to, you know, propel us into the future and do some interesting things, hopefully, on the dairy farm. So,
absolutely, yeah.
All right, we're here in Pittsville. You took us to 2 farm campuses today. We're at one right now. What is this one? Where are we at now, currently?
So we are on the heifer farm.
Okay.
So the heifers are here from when they're weaned off of milk. So now they're on calf starter, calf grain, corn, protein type of stuff, and lots of abundant amount of hay here, obviously. So they're here, and they move through the barn until they're about 9 months old, at which they actually go to another campus, just because we didn't just sit down one day and build a brand new heifer facility, right? They go where they fit the best. And then there's some heifers actually up on the hillside here that are pregnant heifers that are grazing since it's June and the grass is green. So that's what's here right now.
Okay, so this is like the elementary school of Grass Ridge Farm, if you will.
This is elementary school.
We got all the young.
You were in the high
bucks.
school earlier.
I think so.
Right.
I think that's probably the best.
I think you
way.
were like in college or like,
okay, all right.
or like the real world where you guys are
We're getting
living,
like
right?
the real knowledge.
Yeah.
Too funny.
So what does a typical life cycle look like for a cow here at Grass Ridge Farms? And obviously starting here, moving to the other campus, right? About how long does that take typically?
So calves are born, they're on milk. That's when they take a lot of labor and, you know, a lot of love. Is those first couple of months, right? You know, like any infant or anything like that, right? They're on milk. We're checking on them 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, right? They get milk 3 times a day. They just get calf grain in that. Then they get moved into pre-K, let's say. So they're in a group of 10 animals, right?
Okay.
They kind of figure out socializing, you know, they get through their social anxiety, hopefully. They get kind of used to who their playmates are.
Right,
and then we kind of try to keep that group the same so that they're not always dealing with like, oh, I have new friends now, where did my old friends go, right? So, because socialization is actually a big deal in
That
cattle.
keeps them stress-free?
Yeah, it does.
I never would have thought about that.
You'll see them hanging out next to each other when they're in the real world at the main place.
Cows have friends.
Cows have friends. They do.
Probably more
they have
friends than I
social
do.
groups, right? So then they get moved to maybe a group of 20 over here. You know, we try to keep it, you know, low stress. These guys have plenty of room. After that, they go to a different farm. They move into more of a freestall. They use that sand-bedded freestall like they have at the milking cow barn, right? So that instead of being on this bedded pack, they're on the sandy beach, right? And they do that. They see pasture sporadically here.
Okay.
We have plenty of ground that's really not great for growing corn, but it's great for grazing animals. So in the summer, we're doing a lot of grazing. And then they usually calve in around 2 years old, maybe just before 2 years old. They're pregnant for about 9 months, just like a person, right? Your wife may not like that comparison, but it's true.
I'll keep it to myself.
And then they're in the milking herd. In the milking herd, right, they have a special group that they're in for about a month. Keep a really close eye on them after they calve, right? You know, pre- and postnatal care is really important, right? They get the really fancy diet with all the bells and whistles and stuff like that. And then they move into general population, I suppose you would say, right? Well, that sounds like prison. I'm sorry.
They're in Gen Pop now.
They're in the office building with everybody else, right? You know,
That's probably the better way to put it.
they're in the office building. That's my bad.